Watch this one. Right
Keep coming.
you can sit right here. You can sit right here. Leland, you want to come?
I'll sit on the end. You guys get in.
Come on down here. If you and I went to the same school together, I guess we could sit next to each other.
Mike, why don't you sit over there? Yes. I'm on the end. Turn on the end.
Crazy, man.
Did you do his hair?
No, no.
Well, as you can see, we've got our number one draft choice and probably our only draft choice from our 1999 draft. Obviously, we're extremely excited about having Ricky on board, and I'm going to introduce everybody at the table here. This is Leland Hardy, Ricky's agent, and of course, everybody knows Mr. Benson, Master P. Welcome. And I'm not sure who the guy on the end there is, but
Father Ditka, yeah.
With that, I'll turn it over to Ricky. And Ricky,
Before we do that, let me.
welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, I just got one quick thing before we do that. Stand up a minute, Ricky. Okay, just one little quick deal here. All right, look at here. Williams. All right.
Ricky, your reaction to the choice of hairstyle for Coach Ditka?
I like it a lot. It fits him. It fits him well, yeah.
Ricky, throughout your college career, somehow, some way, you never sustained a major injury. How did you do that?
I think the way I play the game, I play hard. You know, I think players are more worried about getting run over than they are trying to hurt me. So I just kept them on their toes.
Hey, Ricky, with Edward and James moving ahead of you, it seemed yesterday that you were a little miffed, not necessarily that you didn't go number one,
Right.
but the fact that you were the second running back to come off the board.
Well, I thought I would at least be the first running back taken, but I think it was just a shot to my pride and my ego that I wasn't the first running back taken.
Will you use that as motivation to show that these people are wrong?
I don't think so. I mean, whether I was the first player or the fifth running back, I'm still going to go play, Ricky Williams football, so I'm not worried about that.
Ricky, can you talk about playing 8 games on AstroTurf and how that may affect what you do as a runner?
Well, my freshman year I played maybe 8 on turf, and there's no difference. I mean, I've done it before. I'm not worried about it.
Think it'll make you quicker? Or
I don't know. I haven't really done it consistently for a while, so I think it'll take me a little while to get used to it, but, I mean, it's not going to be a problem.
Ricky, last night, 40 or 50 very boisterous people at the airport, the reaction obviously in the newspaper today. Just your reaction to the way that New Orleans so far has treated you so far?
So far, so good. I mean, it's been great. I'm excited to play here, and it didn't hit me until last night that I'm gonna have a chance to do some really good things in a great football town. So I'm excited about it.
How much pressure do you feel? Only draft pick. Everybody's counting on you to help boost this team in your fight.
Well, the Saints are a good football team, so I don't feel pressure. I'm just gonna go in there and just do my part, and hopefully, it puts us over the top.
Ricky, first year, the disappointment of not being the first running back, in a matter of minutes, you go to the place that apparently was the place you wanted to go to all along. Was it a bit of a roller coaster ride there?
Well, I think what happened was I expected to go 4, and so I between the second pick and the fourth pick, I spent that time getting my hopes up and trying to get excited about going to Indy, and then when it just hit me at once that I wasn't going there, and I didn't understand why another running back was taken before me, but after that I knew right then that I was going to be a Saint, and I was excited about it.
How hard is that? How awful is that being on national television and having, with that kind of disappointment?
It's tough. I mean, before the draft, I said I didn't want to go to the draft and be there and experience that, but somehow someone talked me into going, and but it's okay. I mean, it's tough. I think the whole country saw me, word the mouth the words "damn." So.
How about when Philadelphia fans were booing their pick?
I mean, it feels good to know that that the fans like you, but I guess, you know, other teams didn't share the same sentiment.
Ricky, Mike has talked a lot about what you bring to the table, but would you talk about what you bring to the table as a runner?
I'm not really big on talking about myself, but I know I like to run the football. I love to play football, so I guess it's just he's getting someone that loves to play the game is going to give him 100% every day.
But you're delivering the blow as opposed to taking the blow. Is that part of your running style?
I don't know. I just run the ball and try to get to the end zone, and whatever happens in between is pretty much all instincts.
Hey, Ricky, would you respond to two pieces of speculation? One is that Indianapolis took James because he gets better into their passing game plan, and about your hands, your ability to catch the ball. And two, just your signability. People say up in Indianapolis that might have been one of the reasons that they didn't take you because of you and your representatives. It might be hard to sign.
Well, if that's the case, I think that's bull because we had meetings with them and everything, you know, went extremely well, and they seemed like they were really high on me, and somehow, you know, it came time to make the pick, and they couldn't go through with it. But I can catch the football. I mean, I caught almost 100 balls over my career, and that's not a problem. So I don't buy that.
Can you tell us who some of your past and present idols are in the NFL?
I don't think I have any idols. I mean, I'm the kind of guy, I just love watching football, and any player that's going to, you know, come up and show up and play football is going to be the guy that I idolize that day.
How hard are you going to be to sign?
Hopefully I'm extremely easy to sign, but I mean, I'm not doing the negotiations, so I really don't know. But I just want to play football, honestly. A lot of players say that, but I really just want to play football.
When you get back to the Asian thing again, Bill Foley told the Indianapolis papers yesterday it had nothing to do with the fact that they didn't take you. In your heart, do you really believe that?
I don't know. I don't understand why they didn't take me or what they were thinking.
Ricky, can you talk about, you seem to do very well in the fourth quarter. Kind of talk about why you think that is.
People say that I get stronger, but I'm tired in the fourth quarter. I think everyone else is tired too, though, so it's just, you know, I think everyone's just tired, so I have the upper hand because I'm running the ball. I'm coming at them, and they're sick and tired of tackling me.
Ricky, can you describe what you think it may be like getting that football the first time this week?
I don't know. I'm excited to see. I think the first thing I need to do is go in there and show the veterans that I'm going to go out there and work just as hard as they do, and show them that I'm not just going to be overpaid rookie, but I'm going to be a ball player.
Ricky, Coach Ditka said earlier in the week that he believes that you can bring to the table much what Walter Payton did, and as far as the style of play. Just a reaction to that to be compared to someone of such great.
I think he was exaggerating because Walter Payton, I mean, that's sweetness, and hopefully, you know, I can be half of what he was.
Ricky, Mack Brown yesterday was talking about how you can carry a team.
Mm-hmm.
He specifically talked about the UCLA game. Can you recall that game and talking about how he said most players would have wanted to quit, but he kept carrying the team?
Well, I think at Texas it was kind of different because, you know, I was a 4-year starter, and you know, I'd been around a while, and we'd go into the game and we get down by 3 touchdowns at halftime. And I think the fact that players saw that I was still going out there trying to make things happen, it made them want to play harder too.
Does that stick out in your mind of that game as one you'll remember?
Not really. It's just I think the way I play the game, you know, being the top guy at Texas, if I was working hard, no one can say that they couldn't work hard because they're trying to keep up with me. And so I think I just push people that way on the field.
Ricky, do you know about the practice of shaving rookies' heads?
I heard about it yesterday,
You're going to get that treatment?
Well, hopefully not, but if they try, I think it'll keep me in shape for the season, running away from them. So.
Ricky, besides football, what do you want people to know about you?
I don't know. What do you say?
What are some of your hobbies?
My hobbies.
You're not playing football.
I'm probably on the computer a lot, I'd say. I take it everywhere I go, so.
What are your future plans as far as baseball?
I don't think I'm going to be able to do it anymore. It's going to be too hard.
What are you going to spend some of your signing bonus on? Is there something you really want?
I think I'll put most of it in the bank. I'm doing okay now. I'm not, you know, there's nothing I want to go out. I don't want to buy a boat or anything or a house. So I'm sure I'll put it in the bank. And
Where are you going to live, Ricky? I mean, I know you just got here last night, but do you have any plans about that?
well, hopefully somewhere close, you know, close to here. Make the commute to work pretty easy.
Rick, is it too much to you to be considered now a savior of this
I wouldn't say a savior. Life is a puzzle. Life is a puzzle, and hopefully I can be the the missing piece of this puzzle.
Body piercings next, coach? Did he get body piercing?
I'm not into that yet.
Put your glass down.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are. You're driving nails to me.
Rick, do you think you have a sense of, on Friday, the mood of the city was one way. Saturday afternoon was completely different, 180-degree turnaround. You got a sense of how big of an impact you've had on the city already, just a couple hours?
Honestly, but before yesterday, I thought that the people here, didn't want to give up all those picks for one player, and now that I see that they did, I'm honored. Honestly, I'm touched.
Hey, Ricky, it's been described already that you've developed a relationship with Coach Ditka from the very time that you first met him. Would you describe that? Is it true? I mean, do you feel bonded to this man?
Well, I think I have a respect for him that I haven't had for anyone in a while, because I think we share some of the same qualities. I mean, he doesn't care what people think, and a lot of people do in this business, so I really respect him for that, and I think that's going to be the start of a great relationship.
What have you learned from all this quote business aspect of pro football so far?
What have I learned?
Anything,
Not really. Nothing I didn't know already.
I remember you earlier said that the scrutiny that you went under from January till the draft, you've been received real well in Texas, and all of a sudden critics found things wrong. That was one of the things you had to adjust to.
Yeah, that's one thing I did learn. That people are going to talk, and they're going to say what they want to say. But they're just words. They're just words.
Ricky, Coach Ditka always talked about, or has talked about you as being a role model here in the community. What kinds of things?
First of all,
expect to try to do, or what do you like to do, and what's important to you in that vein?
I think the fact that I went to school in a college town, I had a chance to be a role model because a lot of kids looked up to me. There's no professional teams in Austin, so all I really did was just be the person I know how to be and keep my nose clean and just be myself, and people respected me for that. So I think I'm in a good situation here because of No Limit Sports, is right down there in Baton Rouge, and we can do a lot of things in the community. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Would you like to jump the original agent and go on with Master P and Leland?
Well, my other agents weren't doing things the way I wanted them to. We weren't on the same page at all, and they were being kind of selfish about things, and that just wasn't me. And I just felt like it was more of a family with No Limit Sports. I mean, we were at breakfast today. We were, talking about each other and just having a good time, and it felt like friends instead of like a business. And you get the same feeling with the coaching staff here.
Was there a specific thing from the previous agent that turned you off?
It was just too much business, and that's not me at all.
Ricky, at what point in your life did you realize you had this special gift? And when did you first realize that you could actually become a professional football player?
I think all kids, when they're young, they say, I want to be a professional, athlete, and they all believe it's going to happen, and no one ever told me it couldn't happen, so it's like I've always known.
When did you first start thinking that I want to be a professional?
I want to be a baseball player since I was maybe 6, and not football until probably my junior year in high school, or maybe even not until college. My whole thing was to play college football because I just love that, and I didn't necessarily think I'd make it this far.
What made the switch in your things?
I went to college and I was pretty good, so kind of went from there.
Ricky, how far did you get in baseball?
I never got out of single A. Never made it that
You were
far.
in Port Charlotte?
No, I was in. No, I was with the Phillies until this.
I'm sorry.
So I was in. The highest I got was low A, which was in Kannapolis, North Carolina.
I'm sorry, was what?
Kannapolis, North Carolina. It's about 20 miles north of Charlotte.
When you went into the Ranger system, what
It was just this year. And I'm not probably gonna ever play for him.
okay. Are you still under contract with them?
I never got any money, so I don't know. I don't remember signing anything, so I really don't know the details.
What round were you drafted?
I was drafted in the 8th round at a high school.
Outfield?
I was drafted as a shortstop, but I played outfield immediately.
So you signed right out of high school?
Mm-hmm.
Ricky, will you wear number 34?
Definitely, yeah.
Ricky, I know you don't like to talk about business. I know you don't like to, you say you don't like to talk about business that much.
Right.
For the business aspect of it, don't you think that you're in a great spot here as far as, they're counting on you? I mean, don't you think that financially puts you in a really good position?
I'd say it's less business, but the fact that I have a chance to come in and contribute really early and have a lot of success early in my career, that's a big thing for me, but it's nothing to do with business, though.
Will you be at mini camp this weekend?
Definitely, yes.
Hey, Ricky, it's been said that your first 2 years in Texas you played fullback. And I guess, so you have...
People don't realize that. I played fullback for 2 years, and I still had, was able to break the all-time NCAA rushing record, so...
Can you block?
Can I block?
Hey, Ricky, what's the one record that you're most proud of?
The all-purpose yard record, the NCAA all-purpose yard, because I never returned one kick, and I had a chance to do that. And they say I can't catch, but I mean I just did it with receiving and rushing yards. So
Will your record be broken?
that one I don't know. The rushing record probably might be broken this year with Ron Dane's only 1,700 yards away. So.
Ricky, it'll be easier to answer this after minicamp, but is there one aspect that you know of right now that you need to work on to take it to that next level?
I think just consistency. I think, everyone can play. It's all about consistency. If you can go out there and be 100% day in and day out, I think that comes with maturity also. So.
Hey, Rick, would you share with us any interesting story from last night, Coach, and some of the other coaches took you out?
Well, we stayed in the hotel. We didn't really go out anywhere, but it was a good chance for me to talk to Coach Ditka and get to know him a little better.
What's your weight number?
I think I'm about 235.
So you went from 224 to San Diego?
It was that's water weight. I mean, my whole thing was just show the scouts that I lost the weight. So, I went out and tried to lose as much water as possible, and then ate a whole bunch of Raisin Bran and prunes, and it worked though. I mean, I was 224 the next day. So.
This is a new diet.
It was a quick way to lose I lost about 5 pounds overnight. So.
Is this what you want to play on?
I don't know. It's not a weight. It's just I think it's more of a body fat percentage, and I'm gonna get stronger. And they say you should play a little heavier in the NFL. So we'll see where I'm at.
Ricky, tell them what you played the Pro Bowl, the bowl game at 237.
I played the Cotton Bowl. I was about 235, and I played the Hula Bowl. I was almost 240. They were trying to get me on the scale, but I said
You don't consider weight's a problem for you?
It never has been. I mean, my career, I played as light as 220 and as heavy as 240. So I'm the kind of player, I'm just going to go out there and play. And I'm a different runner at different weights, but I'm still a football player, and I'm going to go out there and give 100%.
Like, is it too early for you to determination what you'd like to play at?
No, I made a comment, and I'm not an expert about this either. I think he's going to be a 240-pound back in pro football. And that's just my feeling. But I mean, if he says I want to play 225, it's okay with me.
How did you give us a little story background on this?
I just wanted to have my hair redone.
Actually, that's long when it's not.
Who presented you with this? Was it Diana?
I had a hair transplant this morning.
Mike, were you the fifth pick in
I was the fifth pick in the 1961 draft.
what was your signing bonus?
$6,000.
Go for that, Ricky.
I don't want to play that bad.
You know what? My dad thought that was a whole lot of money. Good job, fellas. You did a good job. Better than last time.
When it comes to Dunky, the Three Stooges?
Yeah. Curly Lewis.
Can we ask Leland, could you just talk about, there's stories around this morning, best player ever coming out of college should have the best contract ever going into the NFL. How do you?
Well, I've never. Well, you're saying that those words were attributed to me.
Okay. That's a lot of people are saying that. Is that your feeling?
Well, what I've said is that I think that Mr. Williams should have a contract commensurate with his station as the greatest player in the history of the sport, the college game. And I'm sure that, one thing about whether or not, his signability issue is a non-issue to me, because all parties here, myself, Mr. Kuhart, Mr. Benson, and Terry O'Neill are approaching this negotiation with a common objective, and that's to get Ricky Williams signed in camp on time and try to get this football team in the playoffs and to the Super Bowl as soon as possible.
Leland, how quick will you open negotiations?
Well, we've had preliminary discussions. We came in and kind of chatted, Mr. O'Neill and myself, about sort of a basic framework that might exist if we, happen to be in this position. So we have a basic understanding, and I mean, there's some particulars. If we go beyond 2003 with this thing, which is the end of the current collective bargaining agreement, then we get into the Deion Sanders rule and the amortization of signing bonus over the earlier years and other particulars. So, we're going to look at that versus, something that ends in 2003 and that kind of thing. But I don't think we'll have a problem.
Does Couch give you a framework then to work from, or how do you go about it? Because it's quarterback taking number one, running back in the slot. How do you what's your mindset going into this negotiation?
Well, again, we'll look at all the different things. There are a host of particulars, including who signs when, who has signed around us, and those kind of things. But our objective again is to get the most appropriate deal for Ricky Williams and try to get him in camp on time. And I don't think we'll have any problem whatsoever.
Why do you think that people are, well, I don't know, focusing in, but you hear the words, it's going to be hard to sign Ricky Williams, or maybe his signability. Why do you think that has been floated around out there?
I think it's been floated around because the perception of, given my background, I've spent about 10 years on Wall Street and I'm a Wharton Business School alumnus, that the assumption would be that, this guy knows his numbers and it's going to be extremely difficult to pull the wool over this guy's eyes or get anything less than the absolute maximum that this player should, can possibly get. So that I think there might have been some trepidation on the part of the teams above this team that, they knew that they were going to have to be on their P's and Q's to try to, get a deal done. When I'm approaching this thing, it so happens, as you might have heard, Mr. Kuhart and I are fellow alumni of the same, Catholic grade school back near Philadelphia, and we have a relationship that transcends football and transcends business. So we're about getting this, this situation taken care of with the most fairness to both sides.
Hey, Leland, what are your thoughts about slotting in the first round?
Well, first of all, it's kind of an anomaly because if last year in the fifth slot, which the Saints have traded up to, there was a very unusual contract, which was Curtis Enos's deal. So, I think that slotting that might ordinarily occur and be looked at, in other words, pegging your current deal on the precedent set previously, is one that's going to be less a factor, given the fact that it was Curtis Enos in the slot last year than ordinarily would be the case.
How are you going to overcome the fact that there is close slotting and then have your client paid commensurate with being the best football player in college football? How are those two things being mixed?
We'll have to figure that out. We'll look and do some sensitivity analysis and look at the different, again, length of contract and a host of things. But, we're confident both sides will get it done.
Can you unequivocally say that he will be in camp on time? Can you make that promise, guarantee?
As the affirmations I've made, I'll say them again. We're approaching this thing from the inception with a spirit of fairness and a spirit of having a common goal of getting the young man in camp on time. I certainly anticipate that he'll be in here. We won't have a problem.
What's your response to the skeptics out there that say No Limit Sports wants to use Ricky as their marquee person to set an example for future clients and stuff?
Well, we don't think we have to do that, and I said before, we at No Limit don't have to make sales pitches either through action or word to prospective athlete clients. We're doing by example, what Mr. Miller has built from nothing in a very short period of time. I think is something that can serve as an example for any person aspiring to achieve. And so, that is the thing that we use as a rallying cry for others who might look at us. So we don't have to use Ricky Williams or be hard-nosed or be holdouts or whatever in his first contract as an example to those others.
What other sports athletes do you represent?
I represent Venus and Serena Williams. I've been the family's business advisor for about 11 years, since they were 7 and 6 years old. I represented a number of professional boxers back in my hometown of Philadelphia. You might know the name Bernard the Executioner Hopkins, who's the current IBF middleweight champion of the world. And Will Taylor is the #1 rated IBF light heavyweight champion.
Anybody else basketball?
Well, our company, No Limit Sports, represents Ron Mercer of the Boston Celtics, Derek Anderson of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Ricky Davis of the Charlotte Hornets, Bonzi Wells of the Portland Trail Blazers, Randall Jackson of the Washington Wizards. We have another young lady we just joined our company who's going to be playing in the WNBA. And, you know, there's a host of other athletes, and we certainly, you know, anticipate doing it. Right now, we're concentrating on making sure that the New Orleans Saints can get to the Super Bowl in a very short time frame.
Can I ask, people talking about the perception of having problems dealing with No Limit, is that a black thing?
Oh, as many of you might know, I will never use the terms black or white other than referring to ink on paper. You know, we're about competence and quality, and that's what I think the New Orleans Saints represent. So black, white, and, you know, the signability issue has nothing to do with race. I think it has to do with the perception that, given my background, especially in finance, that they know that I would be, you know, a stickler on numbers and make sure that, you know, nothing easy would be, you know, in no way would my client be taken advantage of from a financial standpoint.
Mike said he thinks that...
I just think people weren't looking forward to that.
Okay, you don't think it was because, you know, they looked up and they see a company, you know, with rappers and, you know...
No, I don't buy into that at all. I think that's sensationalism that sells newspapers, which is what the journalism profession is about.
Well, it's kind of a different than most of the NFL owners.
Oh, there's no question. But again, see...
14 years.
Yeah.
Did you guys reverse
No.
this or what?
Oh, no.
Preaching this for 14 years.
Is that right?
You said it all.
It
Must
has
be
to do
that.
with your grade school background.
Must be
That's
that
it.
grade school background.
Well, yes, sir.
Represented, advised by you personally, or?
No, by me personally. Right, yeah.
Do you mind to answer a couple of questions?
Well, I mean, this Ricky thing, man, I'm just here for support. So, you know, I'm really not here to be involved in this. I'm just here for support. You know, I mean, I'll probably do it down the line. We can get together after all this thing is over with. I have the first contact. You know, we just talk about whatever. Right now, this Ricky thing.
Talk about basketball.
Yeah.
Leland, you're talking about getting the maximum value for Ricky. How much are you helped by the fact that they have no other draft choices?
Well, I mean...
Number 1 or 3 next year.
Right. Well, what that simply means is that in the rookie pool, ordinarily that money is allocated to cover the signing of all the players in that draft. And because there are no others, obviously that would be allocated to Ricky. That's simply all that means.
But I mean, it makes it you can get more money, right?
More than if others had been drafted in the first round. So yes. Mm-hmm.
So you have good ownership in?
I don't like ownership. I have, you know, family. That's about it.
What does that mean? What is your role?
No limit is a family-owned business.
I don't think Polian didn't want to deal with me. You have to realize Edgerrin James has no agent. So I think that they might have said, hey, here's a guy we know, you know, who doesn't have an agent and may not have one, and we probably can get him. You know, I don't know if he knows about the Deion Sanders rule or reamortization of signing bonuses over such and such or whatever. That may have played into this thing, and they know I do know about that.
Have you approached him about representing?
Edgerrin and I are very good friends. In fact, I called Edgerrin right from the thing, and Ricky and Edgerrin are very good friends, so I just called him to tell him God bless him, wished him well. He knows, you know, he can call me for advice on things or what have you. I'm close to his family, so, you know, if he wants to come and talk to us about that, you know, he can, but I've been talking to him on a social basis.
In capsule, explain exactly the Deion Sanders rule, those ramifications of
in the simplistic form, the Deion Sanders rule applies for any contract that exceeds the end of the collective bargaining agreement, which ends in 2003. So a 6 or 7 year deal obviously would end in 2004 or 5. And consequently, instead of just having the amount of signing bonus prorated over the first 5 years of the contract, it's applied differently. So, you know, it's just simply a reallocation of signing bonus over the earlier years of the contract and a certain difference in maximum base salary application. No, I'm saying that it's just a different way from an accounting standpoint of treating base salary and a different maximum signing bonus calculation.
Who actually negotiates, Bill? Is it you or Terry or?
Terry O'Neill's going to do the negotiation. They've made a little side deal that they're going to go play all the best golf courses in the country. So I imagine there'll be a couple beats.
I think a pool game might be more appropriate way to do it.
No, but Terry's going to do the contract.
All right. Leland,
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go. Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
And ladies.
Aiken's new contract, effective for that.